welcome to Kel Knits. My name is Kelly and I am an Aussie knitter living in Sydney, Australia. And this is my YouTube channel where I chat about my knitting and what I'm working on and what I would like to work on in the future. Before I get into all of the knitting though, I just want to very briefly take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where I am filming this video today, and that is the Camaragal people. I would also like to pay my respects to their elders, both past, present, future and emerging. And if you would like to know more about the Camaragal people or about why an acknowledgement to country is particularly important here in Australia, I always include a little bit of information in the show notes that you will find underneath the video. Okay, but now we're going to get into the knitting content, which is what you're here for. I suspect this might be a kind of quick and dirty kind of an episode because I just thought I would quickly film something, give you a bit of an update about what I'm working on, because I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to do that in the next few weeks. Maybe I will, maybe there'll be another extra one, but we're really heading into that silly season and things are ramping up at work, you know, school. Tomorrow I have a drama concert to go to. Next week I have a dance concert to go to. All the things are happening, and we actually have visitors who are going to stay with us for an entire month over the kind of mid-December to mid-January period. So I suspect my opportunities for filming YouTube videos is going to be limited. To be fair, my opportunities to do knitting are probably going to be limited, so there might not be much to talk about anyway. So let's do a kind of just a short, cheap and cheerful little update about what I'm working on. The first one I'm going to show you, no. Let's start it properly with what I'm wearing, and I am wearing today the Sommer Ella by Lene, and this is knit in Sandnes Garn Lene, I think you pronounce it that way, which is a really nice summer yarn. And this was actually one of my first garments that I ever knit, and it's lovely to put it on and think, oh look, I did a pretty good job for a really beginner knitter who I was at the time. Can definitely spot a few mistakes in there, but I think it's a really beautiful yoke and looks very feminine and quite nice, so I should probably wear this a bit more often too. Although I did realize when I put it on it needs to be blocked, because hopefully you can't see it in the video, I don't think you can, but there was definitely a little bit of makeup around the collar here from when I last wore it, obviously, and didn't really notice and put it away. So before I get much more wear out of this, it might need a nice little refresh and a wash. But it's a great pattern, so I definitely recommend it. Okay, that's what I'm wearing. What am I working on? I don't have any finished objects. So this is really like a WIP update kind of an episode. I do have one new cast on though, because, you know, why not? That's just what we do these days. So let's start with the Cumulus tee by Petite knit, which is coming along beautifully. Hang on, it's all a bit of a mess. Let me try and get these little ends tucked in and away so that you can get a little bit of an idea about how it looks. There we go. So this is being knit in Knitting for Olive pure silk in the color, where's my notes, dark Cognac, and I've really been enjoying it. It's a really kind of you knit back and forth whilst you're shaping the V-neck, and then you join in the round, which I've done now, and just knitting the body. And I have to admit, as always happens, once you get past the increases and you've joined and you're just knitting stockinette round and round to get through that body, I haven't done a great deal of work on it recently. I kind of got to that point and then put it away and got distracted by other things. But that's okay. I quite like also having something in amongst my WIPs that doesn't require any thought whatsoever, and also I can stop and start it at whatever point I want to. I don't need to get to the end of the row, so that's where this one's at. and I'm feeling really good about that. Actually, tomorrow I'm flying with my daughter to Melbourne for the weekend. Very, very short fly in, fly out visit for my niece's birthday. So actually this could be a good one to take on the flight, hey, because not having to stop and start. I will be undoubtedly stopping and starting as I go, so it's probably a good plain knit. Also, I'm knitting this in 3.25mm needles, so it's gonna be a while. It's gonna take a little while to get through the body. Perhaps when I finish this ball of yarn, I might do the collar perhaps, so I get a little bit more of an idea about how it's going to sit. Or maybe I won't, I'll see how I feel. But yeah, it's knitting up really well. And in the end, I'm trying to remember, last time I spoke, I was trying to decide between I think the large and the extra large size, because they had the same stitch count until you got to the body. And as it is now, I'm going ahead with the large because it fits really well. Also, I think with my gauge, it's a little bit, it's a little bit looser than what the pattern was asking for. So once I block this as well, I'll get a little bit more room in it too. So I think it should be quite a nice summer fit as well. Cumulus Tea by Petite Knit. My next WIP that I have been working on is this shawl, which is called the Coastland Shaw, and by Anniina Juuti, who is a lovely Finnish designer and podcaster. And you're getting a little bit of an idea about how it's going to look now, wrapped around as a beautiful shawl. This is a complete comfort knit. I really, really am enjoying this. I've already said this before. If you watched my last video, I'm sure that, we're going back and forth. There's a whole lot of just garter stitch, making that quite mindless. And then this cute little bit of lace at the end here. So that little bit of interest as well. It's just that perfect combination. And I'm really starting to notice now that the rows are getting shorter, because as we go, we're reducing. And we started off with the super duper long rows. They're getting shorter, and I think from now on every shawl I knit should be like that, because it does kind of get exciting when you realize, oh wait, I'm zipping back and forth here a lot quicker than I was before. But we are still growing pretty slowly, which is fine by me, because we're not in shawl weather here in Australia. Down in the southern hemisphere, we are practically in summer. So, I can take my time on this. But the pattern has now been released, and it's lovely. Actually, I saw on Ruth Loves to Knit, I think she's even knit 2 of these patterns. So if you want to have a look at hers, you can check that out as well. But I'd highly recommend for a lovely pattern. I forgot to mention the yarn. I'm knitting this in Purl Soho Linen Quill in the color Rosewood Pink. Let me check. Yep, Rosewood Pink, that's correct. So, and I think this is the smaller size, and I should use 2 balls of yarn. So we'll see. I only just joined in the second ball like last night or something like that. So it's progressing well. Maybe I'll take this one on the plane too, or I might take it, I don't know. It's not like I'm going to get lots of knitting time over the weekend anyway, so probably one project will be enough, but we'll see. Speeding through, let's go. Next update is another linen quill, Purl Soho, and it is the pressed flowers cowl. Have I even done anything on this since my last video? I think no, I definitely have, but not much. I think I have a couple of extra flowers in my pressed flowers cowl, so probably not really even worth showing this, but here it is anyway. It's really nice. I'm enjoying it, but I haven't done hardly any work on it recently. What did I say? Linen quill, Purl Soho, colors are rhubarb pink and wheat flower, and don't they make a beautiful combination, these two together? I think it's really nice. But again, it's a cowl. We're heading into summer. It'll be done when it's done. So let's pop that away. Okay, that's it, WIPs. Those are the WIPs, but I do have a new cast on to share. It's a very unknown pattern. I'm sure you've never heard of it. The Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. Yes, of course, an incredibly popular pattern, but it's popular for a reason because, you know, it's got a really cool yoke. It's a lot of fun. It's quite a straightforward, you know, again, it's got a bit of interest to it, but it's nothing complicated. And I think one of the reasons perhaps this pattern has been so popular is because you can really play around with it with different yarns, different types of fabric that it creates and so forth. So, you know, different weights of yarn. But I bought this yarn. Okay, let's have a look at it. I've just started the yoke. Ta-da! There. I bought this yarn when I was still in Germany, living in Germany, and it's the Rico Designs Fashion Cotton Light and Long Tweed DK, which is kind of half cotton, half acrylic in the color, I don't know, 11507. the color 10. Okay, it's like a tweedy kind of very light lilac purple. Here is the ball band, and let me show you a little bit closer what this is looking like. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Hopefully that comes up nicely. We'll see. Yeah, so I actually bought this yarn with a ranunculus in mind. So that would have been probably 2 years ago that I bought it. And so it's just been staring at me from my little yarn boxes saying, knit me, knit me, knit me. So eventually I thought, yes, okay, I will. And it is beautiful. So the yarn is just really soft, like luxurious cashmere kind of feeling soft. It just feels really delightful to work with. So I think it's going to be a very comfortable garment to wear. It feels quite warm, but of course it's half cotton, so I guess it should be nice for summer. And I am planning on knitting I'm not even sure about doing maybe just a really cropped sleeve on it or something. I haven't quite decided yet. So I am planning on it being a summer garment, but we'll see. I didn't gauge swatch. Very naughty, I know. I just could not be bothered. And I was feeling lazy, so I just cast on and off I went. But again, this is a garment that can be knit with quite a generous amount of ease, so I'm not too worried. But what that does mean is that I guess one of the advantages of knitting a gauge swatch is so that you get an understanding of how the yarn will be impacted by blocking. And being a cotton acrylic, I am going to assume that it will probably grow a little bit with blocking. But again, because this is a garment that works with a generous amount of ease, then that should be fine too. So it will be what it will be. But I'm really enjoying it. And we will probably head back over to Germany to visit family sometime next year. So I've already got it in my mind to think, I might have to get some more of this. If it works well, and then when it's done, and if it wears quite well also, yeah, that will be interesting. But I'm really enjoying it. I like how the color's coming up with the little tweedy flecks and everything. And yeah, loving this ranunculus. This would be my second ranunculus. I have knit one before, but again, it was a really early garment. Another one that was one of my first garments that I'd ever knit. And the yarn's a little bit itchy. There's an I-cord edge on the sleeves, which make it a little bit tight. So I really, really don't wear it at all. I should probably, I don't know, maybe pull it out and start again. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I did enjoy knitting it at the time. It was a really good learning experience, and I'm enjoying knitting it once more. So those are all of my WIPs that I'm working on. I told you I would speed through, and it was quick. I also like to talk about different patterns that I've been looking at, and I realized when I was editing my last video that I forgot to mention Knitvent by Helen Stewart, who is Curious Handmade. It's like a series of patterns, I think 6 patterns that she releases in the lead up to Christmas. And I've signed up for the last 2 years because it's just fun to get a little new pattern every week in your inbox. And I think the next one should be out today. Usually comes out, it's a Thursday here, and usually comes out on a Thursday. I have to admit this year though, most of the patterns haven't really spoken to me or jumped out at me that much. Probably also because a lot of them are, you know, wintry style accessories, and now that the lead up to Christmas is also the lead up to summer here, perhaps I'm just not as drawn to them anymore. But there is one shawl, and I think it's called the Turkish Delight. Yeah, Turkish Delight shawl, which I think looks really beautiful. And I did have to hold myself back from casting that one on because I would like to get through the Coastland Shawl first before I cast on another shawl. But it looks really lovely, and I think it would knit up fairly quickly. It's in a DK and looks beautiful. So that's one I would definitely recommend that I've been seeing coming out from those patterns. And the other pattern that I have my eye on would not knit up quickly, but it is also a shawl pattern, and it is called let me look it up, Westward Shawl by Leela Holme. There's in my notes down here. And it is this brioche, 2-color brioche and lace pattern, and I think it looks stunning. There's quite a nice story that she tells about what's inspired the pattern as well, about her doing her PhD on something around water, ocean temperatures, movements, I don't know, something along those lines, and how her father, who is an artist, actually drew a painting based on some of the visualizations in her PhD, and then her friend, now I can't remember the yarn company, but anyway, I will put that in my notes, then dyed up some yarn based on the colors in that painting and so forth, and then that was all created inspiration for this particular shawl design. And I think it looks really interesting and beautiful, and I've never knit brioche before, and part of that's because honestly, we knit the patterns that speak to us, that we think, oh, I want to wear that. And often the brioche patterns, I think, oh, that's nice, but I don't think, yes, I must cast that on. Whereas when I saw this shawl, I thought, oh, that looks really cool. So what a great opportunity to learn brioche and have some lace in there, use 2 gorgeous colors and create a beautiful shawl. So I think that looks lovely. Those are all the things I have to talk about today. As I said, lots going on, and we've got a lovely short trip this weekend, and then we're going to be busy over the holiday season with friends staying. So I might get another video in December, or I might not see you until the new year, but either way, I wish you all the very best. I wish you lots and lots of relaxing and lovely knitting time. I wish you no drop stitches, and if you celebrate Christmas, I wish you a wonderful Christmas season. I wish everybody a lovely, wonderful holiday season. I just wish you all a wonderful December and January wherever you are in the world. So all the best, take care, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.